Hey guys, how's it going? So today I was going to show you guys how I made this little toothpick holder slash pill bottle slash stash box, whatever you want to call it. I can't take full credit for this. I learned a lot on how to make these from Sam Angelo, I believe his name is, the Wyoming woodturner. I'll leave a link in the description to his channel. I hope he doesn't mind. I don't think he will. But there are different ways you can make these. I'm gonna show you one way, maybe two different ways. I'm not too sure. We'll see how it works out. But there's this type here where they break in the middle, and I have this in here for reference on how long I want to make them. So hopefully you can see that. And then you could also make them like this. Is a lot bigger, but you can make them like this to where you don't split in the middle, you split at the top. And these, I think, are a little easier to make. Really, they're both easy to make, but this is mahogany. I have a stick of walnut and oak that I'm going to be making these other two out of. So, stick around, and hope you enjoy. So I started this project off just finding center on this block of wood, punching some holes in it so it's easy to set up on the drive center tailstock. Threw on my dust mask and went to town on chewing this up, rounding it, whatever. And once again, using the carbide tip cutters. I really like those. Just flipping it around, finding the center again to make it true. I got this little jig I made out of a little stick of wood. That's the approximate size that I'm making these. I'm batching these out, making a bunch of them. And here's my my wife calls it a prison shank. It's like a prison shank. I made it out of a carbide tip saw blade, so it's my parting tool. I have other parting tools, but this one's the thinnest kerf, you know, that I can get that I have, besides using like a oscillating saw blade or something, but it works. So this will be the 1/2 of the box, and I think that is a 5/8. It doesn't really matter. It really, you use whatever size you can use on whatever size piece of wood you're using. But I think this particular one's a 5/8 Forstner bit. And just checking the depth, make sure I don't go too far, because on the tip of that Forstner bit there, it extends out about I don't know, 1/8 of an inch or something, I don't know. And actually I did go a little too far on the other piece later in this video, and I'll explain it. I was able to fix it. It wasn't that I went too far, I just parted it off in the wrong spot, and you can see right through it, there's a little hole. So that piece is halfway done. Then here I'm just making the tenon for the other piece to slide on top of. And this is a little bit monotonous because I like to go really slow to make sure I get a nice, secure, snug fit. So I was doing this for quite a while. So I sped up the video, and so you guys won't have to sit here and watch through all of it. And actually, I don't know if I showed it here or not, the top piece that I was putting on had a little crack in it. So I used super glue to fill that crack. And that made it a little more difficult to make it a snugger fit as well. Right here you can see me putting the super glue on it. Just realized it had a little crack in it. This is some oak that I actually found off of a pallet, and it's actually really nice wood. So it was it's been beaten up, but I made it work. Here I finally got the good fit. I was using the tailstock to butt it up against the other piece, so that way it's nice and true, because the tailstock is exactly true with the headstock. So, and I'm just ever so slightly removing material to make it look like it's all one unit. Take my round tip here and making it pretty. Then I cut some grooves, 3 grooves. Use this wire to burn those grooves, and this first one took a little longer because it was right at the seam, and the other ones were a lot quicker, of course. But I did it right at the seam as a test. I figured it would look kind of cool and hide the seam, and it did. When you're looking at it with the naked eye, you can't see the seam of where the 2 halves connect. So that was kind of cool, something I've never tried before. And just finished it up, topped it off with 600 grit, and I'm using friction polish to give it that little next level shine. Right here is where I'm using the polish. When I use friction polish, I apply it real slow at first, and I turn the lathe up and till I can feel it almost burning my fingers, and that really ensures that that friction polish just solidifies and creates that shell. And there's the first piece finished. Just truing that bottom up so it's a little easier when I flip it around. And then this bit is I think it's a 1/2 inch Forstner bit. And right here, I mean, I had plenty of wood and just measured how deep I wanted to drill, and I didn't realize how much this bit was smoking when I was doing it. It looked like dust, but now that I look at the video, I should have been going a little bit slower. But it's okay, everything worked out. It's really hard wood too. You can see me feeling with my finger there, because that bit gets really hot. Yeah. I was just using some canned air right there just to blow out the dust on the inside. You can hear the neighbor's leaf blower in the background. So right here is where I messed up. I parted it off a little too shy. Should have went a little further. Oops. But this is why, this is how we learn, right? From our mistakes. And here I am fidgeting with sawdust, and so I decided, well, I'll just continue and I'll figure it out later. Then I realized right there, I walked over to the after that I walked over to the miter saw, and I had some really fine sawdust, so I grabbed that and kind of shoved it, packed it into that hole, and then filled it with super glue, and then kind of repeated the process. And I used accelerator to get the super glue to dry really fast, and threw it back on, and by that time it was hard enough to take the lathe tools back to it, and it actually turned out pretty well. It almost looked like a fiberglass patch. You can barely, you can see it, but it's better than there being a hole there. So it didn't turn out too bad. think being able to fix your mistakes is what really makes you a better woodworker. Learning how to fix them. So friction polish on this other side. And there you go. Finished piece. Fits together real nice, and you can see the 3 lines there. Kind of hides the seam. There's the good end, and there's the bad end. So not too bad. So yeah, not a real in-depth video, guys, but just a quick little bit to show you how I made it. Hope you enjoyed. Alright, so there's one way of how to make these little trinket boxes, whatever you want to call them. You see it in the video, I explained it as well, where we did encounter a problem there. It wasn't that bad. I just forgot to account. I did account for the tip of the drill bit. It has a little point sticking out, but I just didn't account for too much. So, or I didn't account for enough. But in the end, it worked out. Still got the job done. So, yeah, stay tuned and show you how to make some more. So, thanks.